Hey guys, Ed here, and this is going to be the toy/board game pickup video that I was talking about. Got a bunch of board games I picked up in a pile here. There were, what, 3 or 4 of them? 4 of them I picked up at one location. It looked like somebody turned in their entire board game collection, and I bought the 4 that were most interesting looking because they were only 50 cents a piece. I'm going to have a couple of toys, mainly Star Wars toys. I think one, well, you'll see what they are. And I'll have a game here if I can remember what I did with it. So, we're going to start with board games, or board-like games. And this first one's going to be noisy. I apologize. See, told you. It's called Cathedral. And basically, what it is, you have the game board here, and then you have 2 different color buildings and a main cathedral. What you do is you place the pieces, you take turns placing pieces, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most real estate wins the game. Very simple, very quick game. These are going to be 10 minutes or less, and obviously only for 2 players, but something you can pick up and play really quick. And if you've watched my videos in the past at all, you'll know that I like pick up and play games. Played that one more than all the rest of these combined with my son, and we both like it. Next one I got because it reminds me of, well, Milton Bradley things from the 80s. I mean, look at that. The font on Laser Attack and the colors and the little 80s haircut children. That is called Laser Attack. How can you pass up on that? But essentially, this one, I've only played it once. You have these spaceships, and you have to advance to the space station and collect these pods. You can kind of see these things stacked up. And you take turns, you spin the top of the space station, and if the laser strikes you, you lose a pod. But anyway, you try and advance towards the space station. If you collect all your pods, when you get to the space station, you place one, and then you take turns spinning again, and you wait for the laser to hit you once you've placed your pod, and then you win because you've destroyed the space station. Fairly simple game. Also doesn't take long. It'll probably take, if you have 4 players, it might take 20 minutes, where the other one takes 10. Still, pretty fun, interesting. I've never heard of this until I found this board game. I actually paid a premium. I paid $4 for this one, I can tell, because I forgot to wipe the price off. But this is Battleground, crossbows and catapults. And this is very similar to Weapons and Warriors from, I think, the early 90s or mid-90s. Only with that one, you would use catapults and crossbows, or ballistae, to launch these little orange balls, which I have that one up there, too. This one, instead, you do the same thing, but you launch discs, and I'm assuming they switched to discs because the balls would get lost or little kids would swallow them, and these are less of a choke hazard. But what you do is you lay out, for those of you not familiar, you lay out this battleground here, and then you launch the discs with your catapults or your ballistae, and you try and destroy the other person's forces. Really cool game. This one can take a little bit longer. This is probably 20 to 30 minutes or less, depending on how good a shot you are. But really enjoy that one. It sort of reminds me in gameplay style to the G.I. Joe Cobra Battle game I did a video on a long time ago. Only instead of launching missiles and exploding a base, you launch discs and just sort of knock things over. These are the games that I bought at the same location. They were all 50 cents, so even though I didn't know if the games were going to be any good, and some of them I probably wouldn't have bought if they'd have been more, I did pick them up. Haven't played it, called Labyrinth. This one, the appeal to this one seems to be the fact that you can change the board, so it can be a different game every time. I think you can actually even change the board during the game session, so it's a constantly shifting board. Seems like it could be interesting. Haven't tried it yet. When I do, I'll let you guys know if it's any fun. This is another one, definitely, oh, actually I forgot to wipe the price off of this one. This is another one that I definitely wouldn't have bought had it not been 50 cents, and you can see they've got 50 cents written right on it. I don't know why I missed this one, but I don't know. This one seemed a little bit more complicated. It's called Byjove. It is a Greek mythology-based game, and I'm not going to lie to you. This book that they have in here, or that they show, where is it at? Right there. It's fairly thick, so I haven't sat down to figure this one out yet to play it. I might not ever play it, but it looked kind of interesting, just the cover of it. No date on this one, no real information. Probably one of those board games that gets released by some unknown company, fails, and then there's only a couple of them around. This is one of those games that you usually only see in Comic-Cons or gaming conventions. At least it's what it reminds me of because of the shape of the box, called Galactic Destiny. Also 50 cents, and I don't know, I bought it because the box looked cool. I mean, you got a demon's claw grabbing Galactic Destiny there, and then on the back you have this cool-looking diagram of a spaceship. So I figured a space-based galactic battle game. It's got to be good, right? Yeah, it's probably crap, but I got it anyway. 50 cents, I'll give it a shot. This is the one I was most excited about in the whole group. And I didn't wipe the price off of this one either. It is 50 cents. It's called Dungeon. It's a fantasy board game by TSR. TSR are the people who made Dungeons & Dragons. This first version of this game was 1978. This is the 1981 version. But it is exactly what you'd expect. And if you look on the back there, you can see the black and white 70s family with, 70s and 80s haircuts in a really cool-looking 70s living room playing Dungeon, which probably wouldn't happen because back in this time, everybody thought that Dungeons & Dragons was evil, that it was the devil's game, so I doubt you had a lot of families playing it. But, again, haven't played this one yet, but a dungeon adventure game is definitely right up my alley, and I'm looking forward to giving this one a try pretty soon. Finally, in the board game department, my friend Eldon told me that this one was at a location, and when I happened to be there next time, they still had it. Civilization, the board game. If you played the game Civilization, this is it in board game form, and I can tell you, without a doubt, this is the heaviest board game I have ever held. I guarantee you this is going to be an excruciatingly complicated board game, but you can see here, Civilization, the board game. You got pieces, you got a board. I don't know, honestly reading it, it sounded like an extremely complicated version of Risk. Honestly don't know that I'll ever play this. This one may end up being a gift for my friend Eldon. We'll see. Eldon, if you're watching this video, that is not a promise. I said we'll see. So, that is it for the board games. Next, I'll show you a couple of the toys that I got. I'm going to try and keep this video under 10 minutes. Okay, we're going to take a quick video game break because I found the video game that I was going to show you, and also I got a package, which I should have shown first, but now I'm going to show in the middle because, well, that's the way I recorded it. First thing, I finally picked up a complete copy of Kid Chameleon. I had a loose copy that I made a cover for, and I came across a cheap complete copy. So that is another game that I can add to the Genesis collection there. I'll put that in order when I get the opportunity. And then I got a package the other day that I absolutely wasn't expecting, and it was from Las Vegas. I had to think about it for just a split second, and I realized who it was from. It had no return address, no name or anything on it, but EDT1138. And it is from Classic Game Hunter. It says, a couple odds and ends from your buddy, Classic Game Hunter. And I really do wish Classic Game Hunter were still posting videos. For those of you that aren't familiar with Classic Game Hunter, great guy, had a great channel, has been a friend of mine almost since I started posting videos on YouTube, and I was very sad to see him go. Hopefully he'll find his way back onto YouTube in some other capacity in the future, but it sounds like he's doing very well for himself, so happy to hear that. And I'll show you what he sent me here. He sent me Hatris for the Famicom. I don't know anything about Hatris. Honestly, I have no clue. I'll have to give the game a try and see what it is. I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. And he sent me a sealed Atari Professional Word Processor for the Atari 8-bit computer. I think that's what this is for. Oh, no, I'm sorry, for the Atari ST computer system. So, thank you very much, Classic Game Hunter. We are all hoping that you will one day find your way back onto YouTube. But, no pressure. Unless you feel pressure, in which case you're welcome to come back. Okay, so toys. Some of these I've had for a very long time, and I don't think I ever showed them to you. Some of them I picked up not quite as long ago, but they all have one thing in common. They're science fiction-based toys, and primarily they're Star Wars toys. So I'll start off with the one I've had the longest. I don't think I've shown this one in a video before, but it's the Carillion Corvette from Star Wars. And this one was made in the 90s, I think it was. It's not terribly old, but it does. Let's see where the button's at. There you go, the engine's light up. And it has a couple different sound effects. Basically, I just liked the way this one looked, and it was like $1 or $2, I can't remember. And I got this one, I think, at the same location that I got this first thing that I know I have shown in a video in the past. A 1981, I think? Yeah, 1981 Slave 1. Now, I'd had this one for a long time, and I did show this in a video, but it was incomplete, and it had some broken pieces. Well, a couple of months ago now, I came across a second one that was complete, including a little door down here. So this one is complete, and the stickers are, for the most part, intact. So I now have a complete Slave 1. I am missing the Han Solo and Carbonite, but my son does have a Boba Fett that I can put in there, sitting upstairs. And it is a classic Boba Fett, too. It's not one of the new ones. Some of you that like me on Facebook will have seen this, the Black Lion from Voltron. He is complete and in mostly working condition. His front legs are a little bit floppy, but it was still kind of interesting to come across this. I think I paid $2.50 for this. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that. But I think that's what I paid for it. And then finally, you guys will recognize this from one of my previous videos. I showed a clip, Falcon Cam. It's Falcon Cam. Well, that's because at the flea market, I found the Millennium Falcon right here. And it is missing the cockpit, and it's missing the satellite dish. And what else is it missing? Oh, it's missing the ramp. But everything else is here. I just need... Oh, and the belly gun. But to see one of these things sitting at a flea market is surprising. And the thing that is almost always missing is this piece in here. It is the cardboard piece that divides the center. And I usually see these, when I have seen them, for a lot more without this cardboard piece, or the cardboard piece was water damaged and just absolutely destroyed. So this ended up being $5. I didn't even try to haggle with the guy. I just bought it. I'm going to have to clean it up because it is pretty filthy. But I don't know. I don't want to clean it up and ruin the stickers. So I may try and remove the stickers first, then give it a good cleaning, then reapply the stickers. And somewhere in here I have the Imperial shuttle that I found at a Goodwill. But I think I showed that on the video before. If not, the Imperial shuttle is a sight to behold. It's just buried behind all the stuff I've got pulled out for the gaming convention coming up soon. So, thank you very much for watching. Thank you to Classic Game Hunter for the package. I really appreciate it, and I would love to see you back on YouTube someday soon. And for those of you that haven't heard before, I'm going to be in Cosmic Con in Norton, Ohio. I will have a table there selling off some of my extra stuff on July 28th. I believe the convention runs from noon to 6. So if you live anywhere in this area, come check it out. Thanks again. See you guys later.